Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Thursday, September 12th, 2024. Well, we have a few clouds this morning, some fog in the Delaware River Valley due to our onshore flow that's starting to develop, especially in the mid-level portions of the atmosphere. At the surface, we have a lot of light and variable winds, and so that opens up the potential here for some fog to develop. And that's going to be a theme as we move on through the rest of this week into the weekend and into next week because we're going to have this persistent onshore flow. So the overall theme is going to be in the morning, you have some low clouds, some cloudy mornings, especially if we get into some of these fog banks here. But by the afternoon, it's sunny, it's pleasant, it's comfortable. Fog in most locations have visibility above 2 miles, but in a few isolated locations, you can see fog below around a half a mile in visibility. So use some caution driving in some of these conditions. But the good news is that as the sun rises, this fog will give way. Temperatures range from the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s in our suburbs, and lower to mid 60s in our urban areas. Not much in the way of precipitation, as you can see on the radar. A lot of this is what we call ground clutter. As we move on through the next couple of days, I can't rule out a little bit of drizzle along the coast here with the onshore flow and some of the fog. But other than that, no precipitation is expected over the next couple of days. So this radar is going to remain pretty quiet. Let's take a look at our infrared satellite picture. And this is what's left of Francine. It is rapidly transitioning into what we call an extratropical low pressure system as it's losing its tropical core. This remnant moisture is just going to kind of fester over the southeast and off the southeast coast. And that's going to spawn a new area low pressure, which primarily is going to be what we call cold core or extratropical. It may pick up some tropical characteristics, and you may see the potential here for an or should I say a subtropical storm trying to develop here, but it's not going to have too much of a direct impact on us. The primary concern for us is that we're going to have high pressure here strengthening, low pressure here developing, and that's going to set up an easterly wind that's going to be persistent starting today, continuing on through tomorrow, into the weekend, on through next week. And so when you have that combined with the astronomical high tides that are going to be setting up as we move through the weekend and into early next week, is going to increase the potential for coastal flooding. So if you are along the coast, especially along the Jersey Shore, around Long Island, Connecticut, portions of the Delaware Bay here, you might want to prepare for some coastal flooding. Okay, I would suggest doing so. You know the drill. If you lived along the coast, you know this drill. So definitely be prepared and expect it for the next couple of days, especially with this onshore flow continuing. And because of the setup here, this is why we are expecting the cloudy skies in the morning and then scattered cloud cover in the afternoon with plenty of sunshine. In the terms of threat of rainfall, yeah, we could see a few scattered showers for Tuesday and Wednesday, but I'm not really expecting any type of widespread heavy rainfall or anything of that nature. On the visible satellite picture, here's the fog that we were talking about. Okay, now what's going to happen, and we just got a new image. What's going to happen is that you see these high clouds here. This is part of the polar jet stream here. So you're going to have a few cirrus hanging around throughout the day. And these lower clouds are basically going to burn off as the sun is rising. So you'll see this shrink as we move on through the morning hours. It's already shrinking away from the coast. It will do so in the valleys very, very nicely. And by this afternoon, beautiful weather conditions are expected. So let's dive through this forecast. For today, high pressure and control. That easterly wind starts to get established. Look for high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 70s on the immediate coast, upper 70s to lower 80s away from the coast. For tonight into tomorrow morning, watch out for a little bit of fog, some low clouds. Look for temperatures to fall into the mid to upper 50s throughout the region. For tomorrow afternoon, easterly wind continues, scattered cloud cover is expected. Look for high temperatures ranging from the upper 70s to lower 80s along the immediate coast, lower to mid 80s everywhere else. For Saturday and Sunday, that high pressure system remains over the Gulf of Maine, and that's going to set up that persistent easterly wind and also the threat for coastal flooding. So please be prepared. Also, morning low clouds in the morning, a little bit of fog, sky cloud cover in the afternoon. Temperatures will range from the mid to upper 50s over the interior, lower to mid 60s along the coast for lows. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 80s along the coast, lower to mid 80s over the interior, and mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. A bit of a summer feel. So it's going to be nice to go to the weekend if you don't mind a little bit of the low clouds in the morning. And that's about it. On Monday, same setup. Scattered cloud cover, threat for an isolated shower with this low pressure system developing to the south, but for the most part, dry conditions are expected. Look for low temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. High temperatures will range from the upper 70s to lower 80s on Long Island, lower to mid 80s along the rest of the coast, mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley, and lower to mid 80s over the interior. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday, we'll continue on with this onshore flow. High pressure locked into the northeast of us, low pressure locked into the south of us, and that's going to lead to scattered to broken cloud cover, low clouds in the morning, a few widely scattered showers, not a washout in any way, shape, or form, but some locations could pick up a tenth of an inch of rain. But that's about it. No major storms, nothing of that nature. Temperatures through the period will range from the upper 50s to lower 60s over the northern interior, lower to mid 60s in your suburbs, mid 60s to lower 70s in your urban areas for lows. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 80s along the coast, lower to mid 80s over the interior, and mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. So, the only difference that we're going to be experiencing by next week is a slight increase in showers rather than no threat, an isolated threat to maybe a few scattered showers, and that persistent easterly wind setting up the potential for some coastal flooding. So just be prepared for that once again. That is your forecast discussion for today. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.